No intro today. We're going straight in. What happened last Saturday at the FTC Regional Championships will take 10 full minutes to explain. You are going to walk away knowing exactly why a 12-year-old with a heat transfer science project saved the day. Let's go. 6:30 a.m. 2 hours before the first match. Marcus was already there, being completely, obsessively systematic about it. Systematic, not random. Not whatever feels right. A system. Step 1, battery voltage check. Step 2, motor resistance test. Step 3, sensor calibration. Step 4, autonomous routine test run. He had run this exact sequence 37 times in practice. 30.7. Everything passed. That should have been a relief. But Marcus had a hypothesis. Hypothesis, not a fact, not a proven conclusion. A what if. Marcus's hypothesis: the arm motor had been running slightly warm. Nothing that triggered an error, just warm. And warmth in a motor, he knew, was data. Marcus, I want to run an exhaustive test on the arm motor before we do anything else. Exhaustive, not just good enough. Not a quick glance. Every single possibility. If something was wrong with that motor, Marcus needed to find it before the judges did. Jordan, we have 2 hours. Full diagnostic takes 40 minutes. Marcus, then we start now. Marcus was scrutinizing every component. Scrutinized the difference between looking and actually seeing. Marcus checked every wire, every connector, every joint. His face was approximately 6 inches from parts that nobody else on the team had looked at directly since assembly. Marcus, wait. From the discoloration on the motor controller, Marcus was able to deduce something significant. Deduce. Not guessing. Reasoning. This discoloration only occurs when a component overheats. The motor controller sits directly on the arm motor. Therefore, the arm motor has been running to hot. Step by step. Evidence to conclusion. Marcus quietly to Jordan. The thermal compound on this motor controller is basically gone. Dried out. Jordan, is that bad? The stress test exacerbated it immediately. Exacerbate. Let's pull this apart because the root is worth knowing. The core is acer, Latin for sharp or bitter. Same root as acerbic, a scathing, bitter remark. Same root as acrid, a sharp, unpleasant smell. The prefix X intensifies to sharpen outward to make the bitterness worse. Exacerbate doesn't just mean continue a problem. It means you made it sharper. Worse. More intense. The sustained heat of competition would exacerbate the overheating until the motor hit thermal shutdown, mid-match. With judges watching, they had a serious problem, and 22 minutes had just disappeared off the clock. Here is the thing about a catalyst. Catalyst, originally a chemistry term. A catalyst makes a reaction happen faster without being used up in the process. In life, a catalyst is the moment, the person, the piece of information that suddenly changes everything. The warning light was the catalyst, because it forced Marcus to call someone he should have called an hour earlier. LILY on phone. Okay, but if the thermal compound dried out, that is a straight-up conduction problem. Marcus, how do you even know what thermal compound is? Lily, I'm literally presenting on heat transfer in 3 hours. Marcus, conduction is when heat moves through direct physical contact. If there's no compound between the motor and the heat sink, there's no contact layer. There's nothing to conduct the heat away. In this moment, Marcus was being stoic. Stoic. Not panic. Not yelling. Not spiraling. He listened. He breathed. He processed. Some people, under adversity, shut down. Adversity. This was it. 40 minutes to match start. A confirmed motor problem. No replacement parts. And his only expert consultant was 12 years old and calling from her kitchen. Marcus was stoic. He didn't have time to be anything else. Marcus, okay? Can we fix it? Lily, you have thermal compound in the kit. Marcus, the kit has that white paste. Lily, that's it. Clean all the old paste off first. Completely clean. Then apply a thin, even layer. Just enough for full contact. Not more. Marcus, how do you ascertain how much is exactly enough? Ascertain, to pin something down. Not figure out roughly. Confirm it. Know it. Lily, you're just bridging the gap between the motor surface and the heat sink. The compound fills microscopic air pockets that would otherwise insulate against heat transfer. Thin layer. Full coverage. That's it. And here is where this gets interesting. Because what Lily just described was entirely empirical. 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 This word comes from the Greek pira, meaning experience or trial. It gives us, experiment, a structured trial. Experience, something lived through. Expert, someone tested by experience. Even the word pyre traces back to this root. Someone who tries things, who takes risks. Empirical knowledge isn't what you were told. It isn't what seems logical on paper. It's what you confirmed by actually doing it. Lily didn't guess about the thermal compound. She had run demonstrations. She had built models. She had tested it. That's empirical. Lily was being circumspect about the instructions, though. Circumspect. And I want you to remember this root because it's going to come back. Circum, Latin for around. Circumference, the measure all the way around. Circumnavigate, sail all the way around. Inspect, from the Latin spessor, to see. Inspect, spectacle, perspective, retrospect. Circumspect equals looking around in all directions before you act, taking in the full picture, not assuming you've seen enough. Lily was circumspect because she knew if Marcus applied the compound wrong, it would be worse. And the situation was already tenuous, like a single thread, like a cell signal in a gym basement. The team's situation was tenuous. They had a fix. It required precision. And they had 31 minutes. Lily, Marcus, you can do this. Be precise, not fast. Marcus, you are being weirdly perspicacious about a 6th grade science project. Lily, it's 7th grade. And thank you. Perspicacious.per.spic.acious. Pay attention, because we just did 2 of these 3 parts already. Per, Latin for through or thoroughly. Persist, keep going all the way through. Perceive, taken completely. Perfect, made thoroughly right. Spic, remember circumspect. Same root. Spessor, to see. But now it's the spic form. The Latin root spec. Spic shows up in inspect, spectacle, perspective, circumspect. Conspicuous, all carry the idea of seeing. Acious, a suffix meaning full of or characterized by. And here is where Lily's other brother comes in. Because in episode 01, Marcus was audacious, tenacious. Those are both acious words. Full of boldness, full of tenacity. So perspicacious equals per through plus spic c plus acious full of equals thoroughly full of seeing. Someone perspicacious sees through the surface of things. They notice what others miss. They understand what others overlook. Lily, who had been studying heat transfer for 3 weeks and instantly recognized a conduction failure in a robotics motor she'd never seen before? Perspicacious. They got to work. Relentlessly. Relentless is different from frantic. Frantic is fast and messy. Relentless is sustained, controlled, refusing to quit. They were relentless. Clean the surface, apply the compound, reassemble, run the test. They had rectified the problem. Rectify from the Latin rectus, meaning right or straight. To make right what was wrong. Not a workaround, not a patch. The actual fix. This is what deliberate focus looks like. Deliberate, fully conscious and intentional, not rushed, not accidental, done with complete awareness. The opposing team was formidable. Formidable. From the Latin formido, dread. A formidable opponent doesn't just make you nervous. They make you question whether you prepared enough. Orbit 5's match against them was going to be close. Marcus was lucid. Lucid. Clear mind. Clear plan. Clear execution. After everything that morning, the overheating, the diagnosis, the fix, the call, he was running on complete clarity. In the final stretch, the opposing team's advantage began to wane. Wane, think of the moon. Waxing when it grows, waning when it shrinks. The other team's lead waned. And Orbit 5, running a robot with fresh thermal compound and 0 warning lights, did not. The text said, "We won. Also, you might have saved us. Don't tell anyone." Lily typed back, "I already know. That's why I studied." Systematic. Fixed plan, no guessing. Hypothesis, a theory waiting to be tested. Exhaustive, every single angle. Scrutinize, not just look. See. Deduce, reason your way to the truth. Exacerbate, X plus acer. Sharpen it, make it worse. Catalyst, the spark that changes everything. Stoic, calm under fire. Adversity, the conditions that test you. Ascertain, confirm it. Know it for certain. Empirical, pira, proven by experience, not theory. Circumspect, circum plus spect, look all the way around. Perspicacious, per plus spic plus acious, see through everything. Tenuous, barely holding together. Relentless, won't stop, won't slow. Rectify, make it right. Deliberate, fully intentional. Formidable, the hard kind of hard. Lucid, perfectly clear. Wane, fading, declining.